Hello people, I have a question to Peter Schiff and his supporters. The question is a scenario, and scenario starts in 1998 in a web search market. You had nobody, right? You didn't have any regulation, and the market was completely free because the web search was non-existent, literally. And there's these two guys in a garage and they create Google, and there are two other guys in another garage and they create Yahoo. And of course, nowadays, in 2012, both of those companies are successful, huge corporations, and that's great. The problem I have with those corporations nowadays, though, is that I just learned that Google, together with Verizon, went to Washington, D.C., and they are trying to lobby this idea that basically the market of web search will be rigged in a way that you can use only Google or Yahoo or Bing for your web search. Now, if you use something else, then other companies like Verizon, by the law, will have to use much slower lines. So your results, your web search results will be much slower. So obviously, these companies are trying to rig the market. And of course, I know what Peter Schiff would say. He would say it's government fault because government is regulating the market. But that's like not accepting the reality, Peter, where you don't understand that politicians have always taken bribes in the entire history of the world. They always do it. They always do it. They take bribes. The politicians are not honest. They will not guard the Constitution. They will just ignore it if they can make a quick buck. That's always the case. It has nothing to do with Constitution. You guys think that you will enforce Constitution somehow and it will be wonderful life, but that's utopia. This will never happen. Because politicians, you can always bribe them. And there is no way around it. You can say, well, we take them to court, then you can bribe a judge. We are Google. We are multi-billion. We are bigger than government. That's the mentality that the banks have. And what I'm afraid of with this whole capitalism thing, where they say, well, it's just not enough capitalism, that's the problem, is that it reminds me communistic times in my youth when I was in Poland, this is where I was born, in Poland. So basically, when the communistic system was collapsing, the communists were like, oh, you know, it's clearly that we are collapsing because we don't follow Marx exactly. Because we are not really doing communism. We're doing like half capitalism. You know, it's not true communism. And I think that was exactly the point, that you cannot have it. You cannot have it. It's impossible. It's utopia. And from Peter Schiff's comments, I understand that he believes in some kind of utopia where, you know, courts are honest and, you know, governments are honest and corporations are honest. But they are not. The same way, like in communists, people don't want to be treated equally. Everybody wants to have better stuff and better life than others. And that's natural. The same like it's natural that, you know, if you are a congressman from middle of nowhere and suddenly there is this lobbyist from, you know, Google, and he's offering you millions and millions and millions of dollars just to pass some stupid law, you will not care. You don't care about Constitution at this point. And there is nothing you can do about it. And I think this is how central bank, for example, was created in the United States. There was no banking sector at all in the 19th century. It was very small. And then they started to grow, and they were so huge at some point that in 1913 they just went to the Congress, they paid them off, and they got their central bank. So they can print the money. And I think it was the same with pharmaceutical companies. They were small, not regulated, so they could grow, and then they were so big that they could pass all these laws that we have now that cause the healthcare to be so expensive. So I have a lot of sentiment for this, what Peter Schiff says, but I think he believes in some kind of utopia. I don't know how he wants to solve this problem, you know. If you deregulate the market, you know, you take all the regulation out, you say just, I take all the regulation out. Well, this is what you would do, Peter, but then what about all the other guys in Congress who people vote for? You would need to have a change where nobody vote. I mean, I don't know. Even people who say, you say you would not, you just deregulate. How do we know what you would do if Google goes there and pays you $1 billion? I know that's the problem. You don't know what you would do. I don't know what I would do. That's the problem. That's the weakness of the system. This is why it's failing. That's the reason why. And you guys don't understand it. You believe in utopia the same way communists did. So that's worrying me. That's the problem we have with democracy. You know, people will just vote for other people who are just people. You know, I don't know how to put it differently. Maybe we need some kind of kingdom with a king, you know, that who doesn't care because he can have all the wealth in the world anyway. So I don't think there's easy solution out of it. You know, you can say that you will deregulate all day long. I don't know what you do if you are in a one room with, you know, guys from Google with 1 billion check. Thanks. Bye.